about my strategy?
I have no motherfucking fear. I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine. And I will do anything to protect and feed my family.
Saudis, they're the richest people ever. They just don't. It's not public, like, you know.
Or Putin's the richest ever.
Yeah, he's one of the richest ever.
But are you the richest ever?
Oil families, they don't have to disclose their income. They're trillionaires. I talked to.
What up, world? You already know what time it is. Your boy Matt Miz, the host of the most. Never need to brag no boast. All I ever did was give a toast to the real folks who done paved the way in the real way. Horse plays the play. And now let's get into it, man. Cause yo, it's some real deep shit, man. Y'all gotta realize what's going on out here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? And we got to be real with ourselves. How is a Mexican cartel kidnapping 4 black people and straight up hamming them up on some crazy shit and then apologizing to the world? Talk about, oh, they found a dude, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man, that shit don't fly like that. You know what I'm saying? There's something very eerie about that whole situation. So I'm scrolling through the YouTube, and I see Cartel apologizes. I don't think they would have apologized if I don't think they would apologize if they knew, if they never got caught. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. What y'all think? And the place that they killed him at was Matamoros or something like that. Matamoros means basically, what does Matamoros mean? It means killing Moors. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I was watching this show and he was breaking down the whole science of that whole thing, you know? And it's crazy to me because how can a cartel just finish killing 2 people and then say, oh, our apologies? There's no sanctions, there's nothing brought down to them for that. Like, let's listen.
Information on that deadly kidnapping in Mexico. Someone claiming to run the cartel, allegedly responsible for the attack, is apologizing for the actual violence and then turned over their own members who were involved to authorities. This according to a letter obtained by the Associated Press. State officials haven't confirmed that any suspects are in custody. We're also learning a Mexican woman was killed as gunfire erupted in the attack. I believe she was a bystander. The group traveled from the Carolinas to a border town near Brownsville, Texas, for cosmetic surgery. 2 people were killed and 2 others are recovering inside the United States.
Now, the father of one of those who died in Mexico is sharing his thoughts. Shane Woodard's father spoke alongside activists in South Carolina today. Woodard's son, along with another, as we mentioned, were killed in this attack. Woodard's father says his son was a loving young man, and it's hard to come to terms with his death.
For him to be taken from me like that, it was very, very hurtful. But I tried to make sense out of it and try to be strong about it, but it's just no sense out of that because it just kept going in my head. It just was a sense of crime.
Now, we've told you about a fifth person who did not cross the border. They told the Associated Press that the group was supposed to return to the United States within 15 minutes of dropping off McGee for her surgery. When she did not hear from them, she says she got concerned and called authorities.
You hear that? So they went over there to get cheap surgery.
Well, that violent crime has left so many families reeling, and well, some.
You know what I'm saying? Let's hear another one.
A Mexican drug cartel is now claiming responsibility for the deadly abduction of 4 American citizens. In a letter obtained by the Associated Press through a Mexican state law enforcement source, someone claiming to be part of the cartel apologized to the residents of Matamoros, the Mexican woman killed in the shootout, and the families of the 4 Americans. The letter even claims it will turn over its own members involved in the attack. The 4 Americans traveled to Mexico last week from South Carolina, so one of them could undergo a medical procedure. The wife of one of the survivors says she was finally able to talk to her husband, who had been hospitalized in Brownsville.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
Investigators believe the Gulf Cartel is to blame. Mexican authorities announced a 24-year-old man has been arrested in connection to the attack, though no other comments have been made on if any suspects are in custody.
So y'all give me y'all synopsis on that. Do you think it really makes sense for that to go down like that? Should have went down like that. If not, tell me why. You know what I'm saying? Because from my perspective over here, I feel like it was a dumb way of looking at it, you know? You know? People are not supposed to go to your country and get killed like that. And then all y'all could do is apologize. There's no like reprimand and nothing like that. So let's read the apology
New
letter
images out
once
of
more.
Mexico today. Pictures and a message from the drug cartel investigators say is responsible for kidnapping 4 Americans, killing 2. The group turned over the gunmen they say are responsible for the attack. You can see the 5 men beaten on the ground with their hands tied over their heads. They were left for Mexican police in the streets of Matamoros, along with a truck full of weapons and a note on the windshield apologizing for what they call a mistake, saying the 5 men acted on their own and outside what they call the rules of the cartel. Shaheed Woodard and Zindell Brown are the Americans who died. Eric Williams was wounded. Latavia Washington McGee traveled to Mexico for a medical procedure, wasn't hit during the attack. Initially, 5 people were inside the van as that group left South Carolina for Matamoros. Cheryl Orange says that friends planned to drop McGee off for the cosmetic procedure, then come straight back to their motel. She says she called police when they didn't return.
Now, me, at first glance, I'm like, okay, they killed them. But what's the reason why they killed them? So I glanced to the I glanced to the YouTube, and I'm seeing all this crazy shit. When I stumbled upon Tariq Nasheed's live and he was breaking it down pretty clever indeed, you know. What if they went there?
At the museum, so don't bring surgeries and then taking large sums of money with them. And now the word is out. So now the folks out there who's on the slick are like, hey, these are easy licks right now. It's an easy lick. And let's take it to another level, family. We got to understand. Black folks get targeted down there. Remember, Malcolm X's grandson got killed in Mexico. Y'all remember?
Yeah, that's true. They killed Malcolm X's grandson in Mexico. So what's this anti-black hate they got in Mexico?
Killed in Mexico. Do y'all remember that?
And they just start killing black folks.
Was it 2013 or 2014?
They don't just kill random black folks in Mexico, so must be a reason why, right?
Somebody tried to make him pay a
Listen to Tariq a little bit.
Which it sounded like they were trying to rob him. And he got into a fight and they ended up killing him. Right? Come on, man. We better understand what this game is out here. See, we got this kumbaya mentality. Yeah, y'all didn't know that. Let me Google some of this stuff for you guys to peep out. Dr. Sebi got killed in Mexico. You dig? Come on. Do y'all remember that? When Dr. Sebi died, he died in custody in Mexico.
Yeah, Mexicans are very diabolical too. They're all on that Santeria bullshit too, you know.
And you bending over backwards to roll the red carpet out for people, then you go over there.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck you call it.
And you bending over backwards to create programs for people to come over here and eat, and then you go over there and damn, you might not make it back. Come on. Let's talk real, man. Oh, you didn't know about Dr. Sebi? Where y'all been, man? Yes, Dr. Sebi was found dead while in custody in Mexico. It was Mexico, right? Yeah. It's not no drug deal gone bad. Yeah, look up Malcolm Shabazz. That's the Malcolm X's grandson. Let me look that up real quick. We're going to get deep tonight. There's some deep stuff that we're going to cover as far as this. Hold on one second. Let me Google the...
Malcolm Shabazz got killed. Can y'all believe that? So it's not no joke thing, you know. It's real in the field, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest with ourselves, you know. They really got
Let me Google that real quick. Yeah, Malcolm Shabazz.
us fucked up in the game.
Malcolm Shabazz.
They think they could just kill us anywhere where there's anti-black racism and get off with it.
Don't do that. Pop up. Sorry about that, guys. I hate these articles where they got ads that pop up. Okay, right here. Okay, let me show this real quick. This is right here. Damn, I hate these ads. These damn pop-ups, man. All right, right here. Malcolm X's grandson killed in Mexico. All right. The activist died after a bar fight over a bill. So yeah. They tried to say that he owed like $1,200 or something. They were like, hey man, get the hell out of here. Then they ended up killing him. But family, listen. I think this was a targeted lick. And not only that. Oh, Dr. Sebi died in Honduras. Okay, but didn't they got him in Mexico? I remember it was the Mexican authorities. Hold on, let me double check that because I remember it was the Mexican authorities who detained Dr. Sebi. Hold on one second. Let me double check that. Hold on one second. Let me double check that real quick, guys. Hold on. Let me double check that. because from what I understand, it was the authorities in Mexico who got him. Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that? Hold on. Let me see. I'm looking it up right now. Let me see. Okay, where did he get? Where's that? Death controversy. Okay. Where's that? Where's that? I'm looking at that. I could have swore he was down in Mexico. Where the hell is that? But he was coming from Mexico or something. I knew there was. I remember seeing the Mexican police. Something like that. He got sick, had pneumonia in a Mexican prison. Right. Right. I remember he was being in a Mexican jail.
So they killed Dr. Sebi in a Mexican jail. Wow. And Malcolm X's grandson. We gotta be honest with ourselves. That's some crazy shit.
Get more with Neutrogena 0.5% retinol Pro Plus. 0.5% retinol that's also
Bullshit.
gentle on skin. Improves silica wrinkles in 1 week. Neutrogena for people with skin.
He was being in a Mexican jail. Hold on.
When advertising on YouTube, I know that making an authentic video with a clear...
I could have sworn he was in a Mexican jail. Okay.
So they killed Dr. Sebi in a Mexican jail. Killed Malcolm X's grandson in Mexican jail. Now they're killing black people. So Tariq further moves along and he says, what's the real reason why they went over there? Because people are saying they were trapping, which that doesn't make sense. You don't go down south to trap. You trap up north. You know what I'm saying? You don't go down south to get your work. Your work comes to you. You know what I'm saying? So that don't really work like that.
And it's looking real funny style. And again, I think that they were targeted. Also, what it looks like, and this is another thing that people forget about these cartels in Mexico. People think that these cartels in Mexico are just dealing with the dope game. No, that's not it. That's not all. You know what else these Mexican cartels are into that makes a lot of money? Organ harvesting and organ trafficking. Oh, yes, the tinfoil kufi is on tight. Oh, yes, the tinfoil kufi is on tight. Those cartels are well known for organ harvesting down there. You dig? Big time. And who better to get an organ from somebody who's already sent some of their medical information to a doctor's office down there? This is what happens. A lot of those doctor's offices, they already get your medical information. I want y'all to follow me on this, man. Yeah, they're big on that down there, man. Yeah, they're big on that. Let's look up some of these articles here. I mean, they be getting organs from kids out there. So you think they won't get some organs from black folks? Come on, man. Let me show y'all some links. They've been doing this for years out there. They're known for doing that stuff out there.
So he's talking about them organs harvesting your organs. That's not too far fetched, man, because it doesn't make any sense, man. Why would they just go down there and they just kill poor random black people off racism? Black people go to Mexico all the time, you know.
They do this stuff, man. We gotta understand the game. And this is
and then the cartels just do anything. So they kill for organs and all that. And they have the power to write out manifestos saying it wasn't our fault. Here's the men. It can be some random fucking dudes. But they picked up and they just threw to the Mexican authorities, you know what I'm saying? So the cartels, man, they run like a
So
like
now
a slave.
let's put out our thinking caps
They're
on.
running like a slave drive, you know?
Let's put our thinking caps on, man. So you got people down
They ain't
there,
ran proper.
these cartels, who are probably clicked in with these doctors. You dig? So these doctors might be in on it. These doctors are giving these cartels the info about these patients who are about to come in, and they're like, hey, I got their medical records, and they got old type blood, and they got such and such this, and they got such and such that. And so instead of just getting that $5,000 that you're going to get a BBL for, you can get another $200,000-$300,000 for the rest of the organs. Do you know how much organs are? Come on, man. Y'all better understand what's going on out here. All the organs on the black market are a lot of money. So they're like, we hit this link. Man, we hit this link. Not only we will get that 5 stacks that they got to do that BBL, we chop the bodies up, get another $200,000-$300,000. Yeah. You don't understand how scary some of these doctors outside the U.S. is. Remember, the doctor who killed Michael Jackson, he's not a non-FDA doctor. Ain't he from the Caribbean somewhere? Some of these doctors from these other places, they don't operate by the same standards to a certain degree. Yeah, a kidney is like $20K. Yeah? Yeah. And a black body, black organs? You dig? And they always say, remember, the word is that our organs are the best. Our organs are the most highly sought after. The organs of black people. Did y'all know that? Our organs are more sought after. Our organs are considered stronger. Yeah? See, a Conrad Murray, where is he from? He was from the Caribbean somewhere, right? Yeah? But listen, another thing too, we got to understand, man, these people, they understand anti-black racism and they understand the anti-black racism over here. Let's get real deep. Let's get metaphysical to a certain degree. What's the name of the city that happened in down in Mexico? What's the name of the city? Type the name of the city, guys. Where the sister, and RIP to the FBA family who lost their lives. RIP to them. But I want y'all to, let's get deep, and I want y'all to understand some things from another perspective. What's the name of that city that this happened in down there in Mexico? What's the name of the city, guys? Y'all know? Y'all know the name of the city? Name that city.
This is where he talks about the
What is the name of that city, ladies and gentlemen? I know the name.
Matamoros.
The name of the city.
Means kill Moors,
Right.
kill black
The city
people.
is called Matamoros. All right. The city that this happened in, where the cartel killed these brothers and sisters and kidnapped the other ones, it's called Matamoros. Do you know what Matamoros means, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what Matamoros means? Matamoros means Moor killer, or black killer, or Moor slayer, or killer of Moors, or killer of blacks. Matamoros, that's the name of the city. That means Moor killer. Moor is black. Moor and black are interchangeable terms. Killer of blacks. Oh, yeah. Did y'all know that? Let's get into some etymology here. Matamoros, Spanish term meaning killer of Moors.
Damn.
All right. And that was given, yes, Moor killer. And it was named after St. James Matamoros. This was a mythological
Saint
figure
James
in
the
the
Moor
9th
killer.
century in Spain who was known for killing black people. He was killing Moors. St. James Matamoros. This is why history is very important. This is why you better know some damn history. Let's get deep for a minute. right here, James Matamoros was given to the James, helping the Christians conquer the Muslim Moors. All right.
James the Great, they called him.
Now, this is James Matamoros killing a black person. This is the saint right here. This is him killing a Moor, a black person. All right. And there's other dead Moors, dead black people in the background. You understand? So he was known for killing a bunch of black people.
And they call him a saint.
James Matamoros.
You see how deep
All right.
seated and deep rooted the
So this city
system of white supremacy
is named for killing black people.
It's disgusting.
These folks went to a city that's really, literally named for killing black people. Matamoros. It don't get deeper than that, guys. We better watch where we are going. We better know our surroundings and know the history of certain places and the energy that goes into certain places. Yeah?
I'm pretty sure if the
No,
black dudes knew
Moor
what
is very,
the meaning of the
black
place
people.
meant,
Moor is a very specific
they
term.
would have never went.
All right? Yeah? That's a very specific term. It means the killer of black people, killer of Moors. Moors and blacks were, that term was interchangeable to the point where they were saying black or Moor. They were just running the word together. Yeah. Come on, man. Is that the Black and Brown Coalition, guys? Yeah. Yeah, go check the movie American Maroon out. We talk about the Moors and the conquest of the Moors. We talk about that. That's why history is important, to kind of understand certain terms and words. So when you show up somewhere and it says killer of the Moors, like, hey, is this the place I need to really kick it in? Let me go to the next town. You understand? We better be aware of where we're going and the energy that goes into these places. You know? We better understand the game here. And we better understand when people are watching the patterns that we engage in, because they're looking at us as a quick lick. They're like, hey, we can knock them off. The government ain't going to be looking for them. And
especially in a place called Matamoros.
We can
Kill
get
black
a
people.
few $100,000 for these organs, and we can
Imagine
get the money that
how
they
much more
brought with
places
them,
are like that in the world.
and the government ain't even tripping. Because if you're in a town that's named after killing black people, are they really going to put their best foot forward into looking for the people? Now, with this case, it got caught on film. I think the security cameras, they did it in broad daylight, and it got caught on film. So now it was so brazen, it's getting international coverage. But I want to see what the Biden administration is going to do about this situation. I see the media keeps trying to downplay the narrative, but I'm telling you that these brothers and sisters were targeted. This wasn't no damn mistaken identity. It wasn't. It was not a mistaken identity situation. Yeah. Well, let me turn this off. Shout out to people hitting the Cash App. Shout out to you guys. Speaking of names, remember that Gabrielle Union? What is she? She did something real slick. We know that stuff she did with her stepson. But what did she do? She did something, and I should have posted it up, where she was talking about.
All right, that's enough of that.
She was upset.
Well, yeah, man. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about the whole situation, man. Because I feel like that's messed up if they're really targeting our people, because we're the strongest, most resilient people. We got the best organs, the best minds, and everything like that. And they just try to prolong and just keep the whole thing about white supremacy going, because like,
all right, Johnny.
They know that they're dying out, right?
Johnny, where do you?
So what better thing to do than to like feed on the bodies of black folks, man. You know what I'm saying? To keep them alive, to keep them still moving, still rolling. Yeah, that shit was kind of like it's diabolical, to say the least, man. It's freaking diabolical, you know. And we want to act like ah, it can't be that. There ain't no racists all around the world. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. The proof is in the pudding. Mad moral. They kill black people, kill Moors, kill black Muslims. That's what the whole thing was about. Christians killing black Muslims. So sectarian wars, you know, religious wars, some of the worst atrocities known to mankind. We gotta be honest with ourselves. And now what they're doing is they're rewriting the history books. They're bringing up all the old time dignitaries and pretty much historical public figures, and they're rewriting the history. They're telling you the history based on how the narrative they want to push. So every couple of months or every couple of years, they bring a new documentary out on these people. So they distort the history, you know. Remember when Malcolm X said, "Be careful what you listen to because they'll make the good people seem bad and the bad people seem good." You know, that's the power of the media. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what they did with these three people that went to well, four people that went to Mexico. You know, they made it seem like they made it seem like they were public enemies and brought up their arrest records and all that, and knowing that these people are just going there to get Tommy tucks and BBLs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to really understand what's this all about. What's this all really about? So let me see from my news perspective. What I'm actually talking about. Well, nah, they just showed it in the group. But I wanted them to speak on the victims, because they like to talk about the victims all messed up and
Two
shit.
African
So let's go with I think I'm gonna go with ABC News.
The Great Hybrid Work Event.
Tragedy in Mexico. Two of the Americans who were kidnapped after crossing the border are back in the U.S. this morning. And you're looking live at the hospital where one of them is being treated in Brownsville, Texas. The other two Americans were killed. Matt Rivers is in Mexico City with the latest for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Michael. One person has already been detained in this case, but with so many U.S. law enforcement agencies putting pressure on their Mexican counterparts to find who is responsible here, more arrests could be coming soon. This morning, 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico now waking up on U.S. soil after surviving this horrific attack. Armed men seen loading the group onto a pickup truck in Matamoros Friday. Their other 2 friends did not survive.
2 U.S. citizens will return to the United States. The bodies of 2 other U.S. citizens killed in the same incident were also recovered.
Eric James Williams and Latavia Tay McGee making it out alive. McGee seen here with law enforcement shortly after she was rescued. A convoy then taking the survivors to the border near Brownsville, Texas. The 2 then crossing over to a waiting ambulance. McGee's mother describing the moment she found out her daughter had survived.
I had told Mom, I was thinking of God. I said, thank you, Jesus, there is a God.
Williams now in a Brownsville, Texas hospital after undergoing surgery for multiple gunshot wounds to his legs. His wife, Michelle, able to speak with him briefly.
It was just tears of joy, I guess, that he's alive. I didn't even want to imagine what he was going through or, what any of them were going through.
2 other members of the group, Shaib Woodard and Zindell Brown, tragically killed. Authorities finally finding the missing Americans after a 3-day manhunt, leading them to this wooden house in La Gunona, outside Matamoros. A 24-year-old man identified only by his first name, Jose, arrested. Mexican authorities say he was in charge of watching the Americans. According to her family, McGee had traveled with the others from Lake City, South Carolina to Mexico to get cosmetic surgery. When the 4 crossed into Matamoros on Friday, her family says armed gunmen in body armor chased them, opening fire on their white minivan. The gunmen then kidnapping the group. A Mexican bystander also killed. Mexican officials now believe the shooting and kidnapping was a case of mistaken identity. A source close to the investigation telling ABC News the gunmen may have targeted the vehicle because they wrongly believed the group of Americans were rival human traffickers. Now, this case was solved relatively quickly here in Mexico, a country with an untold number of unsolved disappearances, kidnappings, murders. Has prompted a lot of criticism of Mexico's president, saying this case was only solved because
You got human traffic here. We're the only ones that get human traffic here. Here.
Hey, some lawmakers think U.S. forces should be allowed to target cartels in Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Some U.S. lawmakers like Senator Lindsey Graham calling for some cartels to be designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which would set the groundwork for U.S. military intervention. But Mexico's president already saying he would not allow troops here into Mexico. And every expert I've spoken to, Michael, saying that the idea that U.S. troops could solve a problem so deeply enmeshed in Mexican society, they're skeptical at best.
All right, Matt Rivers, thank you as always.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get
Can you hear? Can y'all believe that shit? So you can't even go get your own people. They gonna want to fuck you over. Hey, we gonna deal with the cartels. Y'all can't deal with the cartels. This is Mexican society. Bullshit. This anti-black racism right here, man. Because how come there's no black cartels? You know why there's no black cartels? Because the white cartels ain't gonna allow it. The white cartels is linked to white folks, and they don't want black people being a cartel, amassing billions of dollars in drug money. You know what I'm saying? That's too much power for black folks. So what do? They target them. And they give power to the white Mexicans because they know that power could go a long way in different countries. Practicing anti-black racism. So just lets you know how deep things get, man. A lot of stupid people out here, man. And they don't care anything about how they look or how they feel or anything like that. They just do what they do. And act like that shit is cool, you know? He said, what's meshed in Mexican society? Human trafficking is meshed in your society? And cartels and all that? Yo, send the troops after them, man. These people are unruly, yo. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about even black folks because the U.S. military are like, oh well, you know, and black folks, you know. Why should we care? You know what I'm saying? But about 3 years ago, there was a white family that got killed in Mexico. Yeah, let me pull that one up. I wonder what the military did about that. You know? I wonder what the military did about that.
We've helped coaches, consultants, and course creators earn over $200 million using this. This video of the smoldering wreckage of one of the family's cars was filmed by the father-in-law of the woman who was driving it. This is for the record. Nita and 4 of my grandchildren are burnt. Shut up. Right on the road out of Mamona. This was, a family member said, nothing short of a massacre. Renita LeBaron had been traveling with 4 of her children. They and all of those who died were members of a family from a Mormon community which settled in Mexico decades ago. Christina Langford also died. A number of children who survived are now in hospital in the US. Family members say they've seen the violence increasing.
Helpless families are being innocently killed down there. It's not just got caught in gunfire in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is a whole new level of cartel violence. As of this point, it's not over. We still don't know what's going to happen next.
The murder of US citizens prompted this from the president. A wonderful family and friends from Utah got caught between 2 vicious drug cartels who were shooting at each other, with the result being many great American people killed. If Mexico needs or requests help in cleaning out these monsters, the United States stands ready, willing, and able to get involved and do the job quickly and effectively. This is the time for Mexico, with the help of the United States, to wage war on the drug cartels and wipe them off the face of the earth. In response, Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said he will speak to Trump, but ruled out any foreign intervention.
I send an embrace of condolence to the whole LeBaron family, to the family members of the victims. This is a terrible tragedy because children and innocents lost their lives. I'll speak with President Trump to thank him for his support and see if in cooperation agreements there's the possibility of getting help in cases where it's necessary. I don't think we need the intervention of a foreign government to deal with these cases.
Mexico's war on the cartels has done little to reduce the drug violence, and the Mormon community in the region has been the target before. Authorities say this attack might have been a case of mistaken identity. The family says without the heroism of a 13-year-old who hid his injured siblings and walked miles for help, those children would have also lost their lives. Greg Milam, Sky News, Los Angeles.
So you see, the cartel's been going in on people from time, right? This was 3 years ago when salute Jersey Jake. This is three years ago when shit was going down, you know. So you already know, man. The shit is not like it used to be, you know. The shit is not like it used to be at all. It's a new form of cartels. They get more violent. They even robbing organs, man, and selling them on the black market.
Military, police,
And who's letting them move with impunity? The Mexican authorities. Are the Mexican authorities doing that? Or they're working with international heads, you know, because they have to sell their drugs to the people outside of the country. Well, who better to sell it to than the people south of the border? I mean, north of their border. So the thing is, yeah, they're making money. They're doing it, but they're killing people at the same time. I have nothing to do with it, and they're being allowed to move with impunity, costing the lives of black folks, white folks, all types of folks, you know. And then you're just there wondering like who is gonna deal with this shit, you know? Or how are we gonna deal with this shit? So let's hear a little bit about Ed Calderon, cartel corruption explained. Shout out to Valuetainment. I want them to explain how this shit happened because there's so much corruption, so much drugs, so much guns, so much shit getting into the country. How is it getting in, and why is it being so readily available, and why are we being demonized as the face of it, of all the bullshit? I can tell y'all right now, man. It's all a trickle down effect, man. So check this out.
Was going to work for the government in this new experimental police unit that they wanted to kind of put forward. So I opted out and went for that police career.
Now, were you ever recruited? Did you ever get the opportunity to go work for the cartel or no?
That was that's a process that happens when you get recruited into police forces. When you're in the police, when you sign up for this, they do a background check. They do an FBI background check. They look into your financials. They look at who your brothers and sisters are, all this type of stuff. That process begins when you sign up for recruitment, and then when you're inside the academy, you know, every now and then they just start pulling people out of there. People that the FBI background checks take a while, so people that have some sort of history on the U.S. side criminally that doesn't police forces. A little bit of all of that happened. Some of the older guys working on would offer, hey, want to work for us? And when you say, what do you mean us? Like us? Like, you know what? That's interesting, but I like being alive, and I'm just here to work. That I'm talking about 2004 era. That's a weird transitional time between the old way that things were done in Mexico and then the new drug.
Hey, look who it is.
So you saw a massive purge in a lot of police forces, including the one I was a part of. With desperate
Mexican
measures being implemented, like consistently putting agents to
insane, fam.
House visits, surprise house visits to all agents involved. And they would go into your bedroom and take a picture of your TV to see if it matches up the TV you had only last visit. And if you had a new one, you would have to explain how. You gotta be kidding me! Oh, this is.
Well, they're smart for doing that, though. Good for them if they're getting that detailed.
It was a plan of it was a control and confidence plan that they had on a national level that didn't work for a simple reason. The higher ups didn't go through that control and confidence plan. That's why you start seeing high level people being arrested only recently that were part of all those efforts to kind of clean up police forces. It worked for a while, and there's a lot of research out there, there's a lot of papers out there talking about some of the only drug war successes on behalf of the Mexican government occurring in places like Baja, where I was really active in, and a lot of that had to do with the implementation of some of these things like police certification processes coming in from the U.S. There's a international police certification process called CALIA, which is run by American police officers.
What are you saying?
And we went through it.
Just get it in, huh? I figured that much.
That program wasn't easy, specifically for a police group in Mexico to get through it. They made a really good effort.
I've been on for an hour still.
On the straight and narrow.
I'm talking about these Mexican cartels kidnapping black folks and killing them.
Self-inflicted amnesia. We're not a two-party system in Mexico.
You hear about that one?
So,
yeah.
Calderon went out. Central kind of leftist came in, and everything was kind of redone. Programs were canceled. Go into your house or being polygraphed and having a polygraph examination be the government tells you can't work everything. So guess what happened to all these people that were taken, that were purged out of some of these police forces?
I got the old school black move.
Are you on mute? Yo, you hear me?
Yeah.
Basically, 6 years worth of trying to clean up.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
That is deeply corrupted. Just go.
Yeah, man. So the Mexican cartels, they killed 2 black people, and then returned 2.
Basically, just said
we're just
gonna start from zero.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen that.
Meaning, the federal.
I'm just trying to figure out how the Mexican cartels work. Cause how could they just apologize? They just came out and apologized for killing the blacks, saying that they mistake them for human traffickers, rival human traffickers. So I'm like, God damn! So they're killing each other over human trafficking? I don't understand it. But that I don't think that's the case, because why would they? Why would black people drive into Mexico to human traffic? You know? For pesos, like, I don't understand that. So it came to be that they're actually there because they wanted to do a cheap surgery DBL and Tummy Tuck, you know?
Yeah.
They wanted to get it done cheaper. So people are speculating, saying that, yo, man, maybe they killed them to take their organs, you know? Because organs are a hot commodity out there, you know? These cartels do all types of shit like that.
Right.
Kill people and take their organs and sell
Sell them
that
on
in the
the
black
black market.
market.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is not a police academy like the U.S. This is a
So
paramilitary type plan they had going on with
that's
Gates are what
that's
the
crazy,
Cartel,
yeah.
which were former Mexican special forces guys.
And it kind of makes sense because where else would they kill them like that?
Academy setting were
Right.
mostly all Daca guys. So they were all old
You
school
can't tell me they got
army
mistaken identity.
and
They're black people.
training standards
They're mistaken for somebody else. Come on, man.
treatment of people.
So they got caught up,
So I don't know if
and then the cartel said they found the dudes that did it. They acted on their own volition, and it wasn't a part of the cartel. They sent a letter. They beat the dudes up, like 5 dudes, and sent them to the Mexican authorities.
It was a very
Crazy.
type of training there was basically a very big push to just create bodies.
It's real. You can't just kill black folks on Mexican soil, but they realized that since they killed that chick, Quintilla, what was her name? Quintilla, or that chick that got beat up by her friends in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then the Mexican authorities didn't do nothing about it, you know? They just said, oh, she died from falling or something like that, which showed that the story later came out that she was beat up by her friends, you know,
Hmm.
at a high price hotel in Mexico, and the authorities were dragging their feet. They weren't really doing nothing about it, you know? So I say that to say, like, yo, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on in Mexico, man.
Right.
They were saying that Malcolm X's grandson got killed in Mexico. So a lot of anti-black racism, you know. Dr. Sebi was killed in Mexico. Who else? It's a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. And the place where they were found, that they went to, when they're found and kidnapped and killed, the place is called Metamoros. Metamoros means to kill Moors. So to kill black Moors. So they looked in the history books, and the history books says that the original uh, the place was named after a person called Saint James Matamoros. And he has a picture of him killing black folks on behalf of Christianity, you know?
Yeah.
And the Moors are black, so they when they conquered Spain, they also conquered all the territories belonging to Spain, which is one of them was Mexico, you know?
Hmm.
And then boom, you get all this type of bullshit. They actually have a town named after killing black people. Crazy. It's crazy, bro. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy for real.
So as corruption goes deep, man. So I'm gonna continue this a little bit. to let y'all know how the cartel corruption explained by Mexican crime expert Ed Calderón. Let's go.
Within a police group like that. Some of them work for one cartel, some of them work for the other. A few of them are there on a career path, so they try to keep their nose clean down the straight and narrow. And you might not be involved in anything, but if somebody 2 or 3 levels higher up is, your actions are going to reflect his actions and his purpose.
I bet.
It's not as simple as just being approached and getting money. Sometimes you're just working and you're actually involved in some sort of interest that is way beyond your pay grade and/or
you don't even know about it. Meaning you don't know you're part of it.
You don't know you're part of it. When I got inside, there was a few factions that were pretty interesting to me as far as, you know, people that were there because they had some sort of sense of they wanted to change things. There was a
Well,
large.
did you see the whole thing?
Very active
You want me to
people
play
that
it
were
back
into
for
the
you?
training side of it that wanted to certify themselves, professionalize themselves.
A little
That
bit.
they really saw the promise of doing something differently.
Change for the better, meaning change for the better.
Making the job title that we had matter again, and not to be something that is, as it is now, completely vilified.
Hey, I wanted to get a big.
All right.
In Mexico, 2 of the Americans who were kidnapped after crossing the border are back in the U.S. this morning. And you're looking live at the hospital where one of them is being treated in Brownsville, Texas. The other 2 Americans were killed. Matt Rivers is in Mexico City with the latest for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Michael. One person has already been detained in this case, but with so many U.S. law enforcement agencies putting pressure on their Mexican counterparts to find who is responsible here, more arrests could be coming soon. This morning, 2 of the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico now waking up on U.S. soil after surviving this horrific attack. Armed men seen loading the group onto a pickup truck in Matamoros Friday. Their other 2 friends did not survive.
2 U.S. citizens were returned to the United States. The bodies of 2 other U.S. citizens killed in the same incident were also recovered.
Eric James Williams and Latavia Tay McGee making it out alive. McGee seen here with law enforcement shortly after she was rescued. A convoy then taking the survivors to the border near Brownsville, Texas. The 2 then crossing over to a waiting ambulance. McGee's mother describing the moment she found out her daughter had survived.
I had told Mom, I was thinking to God, I said, thank you, Jesus, there is a God.
Williams now in a Brownsville, Texas hospital after undergoing surgery for multiple gunshot wounds to his legs.
They shot this guy up in the legs.
Briefly.
It was just tears of joy, I guess.
And they killed the 2 other brothers.
I didn't even want to imagine what he was going through, or what any of them were going through.
2 other members of the group, Shayi Woodard and Zindell Brown, tragically killed. Authorities finally finding the missing Americans after a 3-day manhunt, leading them to this wooden house in Lagunona, outside Matamoros. A 24-year-old man identified only by his first name, Jose, arrested. Mexican authorities say he was in charge of watching the Americans. According to her family, McGee had traveled with the others from Lake City, South Carolina to Mexico to get cosmetic surgery. When the 4 crossed into Matamoros on Friday, her family says armed gunmen in body armor chased them, opening fire on their white minivan. The gunmen then kidnapping the group. A Mexican bystander also killed. Mexican officials now believe the shooting and kidnapping was a case of mistaken identity. A source close to the investigation
Idiots. They made the block hot.
Turned out of the stunning image south of the border.
That's why the cartel turned them in.
4 Americans were kidnapped. 2 of them shot and killed. Well, today, 5
Even
alleged
better.
members of a notorious cartel tied up and left in public right at the scene of the kidnapping for all to see. And authorities believe it was the cartel itself handing over those 5 suspects. A note left on the windshield, the cartel apologizing for the deadly attack on Americans. And late today, the bodies of those 2 Americans who died in the attack arriving back in the United States. ABC's Matt Rivers in Mexico City again tonight.
Tonight, nearly a week after that horrific kidnapping of 4 Americans that left 2 of them dead in a Mexican border city, a notorious drug cartel is allegedly taking responsibility. In these photos from a source close to the investigation, the Gulf Cartel appearing to hand over the 5 members they say did it. The 5 men found tied up near a truck with guns, ammunition, and body armor at the same spot in Matamoros where the kidnapping took place. Plus a note on the windshield purportedly signed by the cartel references, quote, 4 kidnapped Americans, 2 of which died, adding, quote, we have decided to deliver those involved and directly responsible. The 5 men now in state police custody. Authorities not confirming whether these 5 were involved, but multiple Mexican law enforcement sources close to the investigation tell ABC News the cartel note is believed to be legitimate. Neither ABC News nor U.S. officials have been able to verify the note's authenticity.
I think they're doing it to take heat off of themselves. I do think this was their intent, was to sort of ease the pain as far as what pressure may be placed on the cartel as time goes on.
That was really something to say to witness that image today. Matt Rivers.
Yeah, man, they made the black, but I don't think those 5 dudes that they turned in were actually the 5 dudes that did it. You know what I'm saying? They just turned in some random dudes that they didn't like, beat them up. So yo, because the authorities can't confirm nor deny if they were there or not. It's kind of weird still. And they have video footage. They have all types of shit. But you know, like he said, the cartel is trying to absolve themselves from responsibility. But
Tonight, and Matt, this notion that
the military gets sent in there, bro. The U.S. military, they're blowing that whole shit up, bro. They ain't even playing with them. But that's the thing, though. They're allowed to perform with impunity, you know? Basically.
Cartel itself turning over these suspects, really a stark reminder of what we know from
That's
all
why
the
when you
reporting
see
through
a
the years of
hot
the
block
power of these
selling pure dope out here, and you think, oh, the police don't know about it. Oh, they know. They know. You know what I'm saying? It's all a part of the grander scheme of things, you know? So don't get fooled out there or perplexed. Say, oh, this nigga Rhymes is getting ran by the government.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy, bro?
Yep.
That's sick. What do you think about it? Do you think that the Mexican government has something to do with it too? Or it's just a cartel thing? Might just be a cartel thing, but I feel like to have access to organs and everything like that and harvesting, you got to know some rich people, powerful people, you know?
Yeah.
Be able to sell that shit.
No, that's a fact.
So
Can't just pull up on the block with a couple of organs, like. Definitely got to be in the government for that shit.
yeah, man. Have to get the scoop. How's your day? Yeah, man. So yeah, there's 2. Oh, they took it. just put it in the freezer. It's gonna go fast. Yeah, man. So I figure like
Tells.
No question, the Gulf Cartel is among the most powerful criminal organizations in the entire country. And if they did, in fact, turn over some of their own, knowing they would be detained by police, not worried about what those suspects would then say during interrogation, David, I think it says a lot about this group's power, both in Matamoros and beyond.
Well, you would know Matt Rivers, who has reported from Mexico for years. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George.
you hear what he said? The fact that they turned them in without them caring about what they'll say during the interrogation and all that proves their power, you know, how far it reaches. That's what I'm saying, man. A lot of people go down there, do these cheap surgeries and all that, and then go under the knife.
Organs and shit, right?
And they're missing organs, they're missing kidneys and shit like that. All types of shit. It's wild like that. You know? Huh? Yeah. Cause it's spilling. Who's that? Who's that slim thick? Who's that? Who's that slim thick?
Yo, so who you bringing tomorrow?
Where's the honey in the freezer?
Is it? The kids, man. Oh, I'm trying to bring the little ones, you know. Well, what game is it?
For
Huh?
new basketball team in Montreal called
Oh, the Tundra? Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, you got tickets?
yeah.
Where are they playing?
I think the Olympic Stadium. Wait, hold on.
Olympic Stadium, right? Yeah, we can do that at 7 still. Come on. I'll be. Oh shoot, that's the thing. My whip is messed up right now, bro. I have to get a new key. I have to fix the programming on the fob. But it's all good. Didn't they just start the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, the season just started, so I call my cousin still. My cousin he coaches them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Jonathan Williams?
Yeah.
That's my cousin, you know. You didn't know that, eh?
No, that ain't.
Oh, you don't know him? He's a personal trainer. Well, he trains athletes and shit.
Light skin?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know him.
Look at my cat. Cat wants to be in the mix. What up, though? What up, though?
Those are all tickets.
Hey, what up, though? Oh, yeah? Well, you got season tickets?
No.
Oh, that's for just for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the whip's messed up.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Gotta run a sprinter van for all our kids, bro.
Yeah. Literally. What is it? VO 3000 VO. Cat Charbonner.
Where'd you get the tickets from?
Pablo.
Huh?
Pablo.
Oh, Pablo? Okay.
Mr. Mendez. I think Juan is doing something. Is Juan coaching? Maybe Juan
Yeah, Juan's coaching and my cousin does the
the trainer.
training. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah, Juan's coaching. That's what's up, though. That's what's up. And then we need more tickets, though. I'll be good after next week. I'll be sturdy out here. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man,
How many of them are you bringing? Yeah, you.
me, Miles, Zoe. I wanted to bring the nephews, but it's a lot of them.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah,
So that's 6 of you all together.
yeah.
That could work.
But how am I gonna get there, though? That's the thing.
Okay.
Can't get there.
Well, that's what I was saying.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's why I want to talk about this here topic tonight, man, because I feel like cartels are doing too much. They're killing our black folks out there, or they're letting them die out there, and then nothing's happening really, you know.
Right.
So now they got to crack down. And when you look at it, when you really, really look at it, who's really making the money? It's the people at the top.
Yeah.
These cartels are they're just ran off of fear and ignorance, you know? Because you have to take into consideration that they're probably making a lot of money, but they're not paying everybody the same, you know, because it's poor countries you're dealing with, you know.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of ignorance, a lot of miseducation, and all this shit, and then people are living in fear. So it's not really a sophisticated ran organization. It's more tied to the system of things, you know. Crazy. Well, Pablo was real with it though. Pablo, I think he was actually trying to build up Mexico, you know, but not Mexico, Colombia, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could be wrong, but when it comes to these cartels, man, it's just like they're ruthless and they have no, they do shit with reckless abandonment, man. And then now they're really killing black folks out there, knowing that they ain't gonna really do nothing because they're black, you know. And they say black organs are the best organs, you know what I'm saying, to harvest
Right.
and sell, you know. So what could be the bigger picture? Let's get the most bang for our buck, right?
Yep.
You know, We don't want an old kidney. We want a young, spry kidney. We don't want an old pancreas or old liver. Well, I'm mute. What did you say?
I'm not saying
Say what you said.
I'm not saying
Say it.
nothing.
You said something when I said pancreas. You said something. Let me hear what you got to say with your technologist brain. What
I'm just wondering,
pancreas
do
is
you
the
know what
wrong
the
thing to say?
pancreas is?
Huh?
Do you know what the pancreas is?
Yes.
Or is
It's right here or something like that. Where is it?
It's right
Isn't
underneath
it?
the
like in the middle?
It's in the middle. It's right here.
Because you have your liver.
Yeah, and your pancreas.
Yeah.
It's right next to your pancreas. Yeah. I know. I don't know exactly where it is, but
I don't think they transplant pancreas. Livers, kidneys, yes.
they don't take they won't take your pancreas.
I don't know.
Well, they can't sell your pancreas, no. But they can sell your liver and your kidneys, right?
Well, if you take your liver, you're dead.
Well, yeah, we are already dead.
Oh, they're killing you.
Yeah,
Oh, then yeah.
and selling your organs.
Okay, then if you're dead, then they can take whatever they want.
Yeah, so that's what they do now in Mexico. People are speculating because you can't just be killing people like that for no reason and saying that they're rival
But
human traffickers.
this is what we have to do for
That
the
don't even make no sense. Who's gonna go down to Mexico to sell ass from the United States? That's hustling backwards. I don't know. Oh, they're trying to take Mexicans over across the border? I don't know. The real story came out. They're going down there to get a BBL, a cheap BBL.
women.
It was one woman and three other guys.
Guys are going down for a BBL too.
Well, a tummy tuck. You know the maybe the you know how they get the fake abs and shit. I don't know, man. That's some crazy shit, man. But that's what they said. The initial story was that they're mistaken for a rival human trafficking ring. But why would you bring people down to Mexico to be human trafficked? Yeah? It doesn't make sense. If you're living
Miles
in the
says we don't
States.
spend enough time with them.
Huh?
Miles says we don't spend enough time with them.
Hold on. Yeah, so fam. Yeah, man, it's a good one, man. I was out on for an hour and a half already. Yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to do an early morning show. If you're up to it, I'll hit you up and see what we can do, man. You know what I'm saying? Kill it on the freestyle. We gotta come harder. We gotta come with some high level in the game.
High level
10 toes
conversation.
down. Yeah,
High
man.
level conversations for sure.
Yeah, man. Because that's what it's all about, man.
Right.
Shout out to 19 Keys, yeah.
Straight.
Because at the end of the day, it's the block mode way. You dig? It's your boy Mac Mizzle, and I'm signing out. Before y'all go out there and do something stupid, ask yourself, what will Mac do? Because all I do is sit back, relax, max, and kick backs. You dig? I'm gonna holler at you, boy. You already know. My
Yeah,
G.
yeah, man.
Peace.